この一つに We Fagiano Okayama。1番レナート・モーザー、48番ダツタ・ユーゴ、10番ハガビ・ダイチ、2番工藤・コータ、51番白井・コースケ、41番山本英二、30番神谷優太、81番山根友和、20番今村太陽、22番石井
This is a third straight home match for Fagiano Okayama in their opener in front of their own fans this term. Faji were beaten 2-1 by Gambaro Osaka, but last time out they managed a come-from-behind draw before doubling their points haul thanks to a 5-4 shootout success over early Group West pace setters Nagoya Grampus. Kota Kawano converting the 5th spot kick as Faji went 5 from 5 to win on penalties, but their home form wasn't great last term. 16th in the home-only table. They are without a win in 6 here. Might that change today? Kyoto Sanga are unbeaten in 10 J1 games on their travels, and last term topped the away-only table. No team amassing more points their 10 road wins, also a league high. 5 points from 2 away fixtures this term, includes a 2-1 win at Sanfrecce Hiroshima. 2 head-to-head fixtures last term were entertaining, 1 win apiece. Kyoto Sanga secured a 5-0 success back in August in the second of the fixtures in 2025. That after Fagiano Okayama secured a 2-0 victory here back in February. It's always going to be a difficult campaign for Takashi Kiyama's side last term, but they acquitted themselves really well, eventually finishing 13th in their first ever top flight campaign, grabbing 12 wins along the way. It was all or nothing generally, only 9 draws last season. As for Kyoto Sanga, they were excellent, very much in the title mix for much of the campaign. They eventually finished 3rd, 8 points off top spot Kashima Antlers and 7 off second place finishers Kashiwa Reysol. Top as late September. They were unable to keep up the gallop, but still managed to secure 3rd place. Let's check out the teams for you. Faji make 2 alterations to the side that drew 1-1 with Nagoya Grampus last time out. There's a first start of the season for Yuta Kamiya, while Kazunari Ichimi is recalled. Kyoto Fuji and Lukao drop to the bench. Lennart Mercer continues in goal after making his J1 League debut last weekend, but Kata Kawano remains as a sub despite coming onto net against Nagoya on match day for 3-4-2-1 for the hosts, as you can see, with Ichimi as the central striker. Isaka and Kimura will support. Yamani on the left-hand side. Shirai on the right will look to get forward from the wing-back positions. Our referee is Koji Takasaki. Fagiano Okayama have yet to win a top-flight game at home with the 33-year-old official in charge. Might that be a bad omen for the home team today? They will hope not. On VAR assignment for us, Hayato Shimizu will be making the decisions in the booth, assisted by Yosuke Takebe. Check on the visitors for you as well. Kyoto Sanga had that terrific season last term, and they've started positively this season. Masaya Okugawa gets rewarded for some positive displays from off the bench to start today. The midfielder has appeared in all 4 games so far this campaign as a sub. He starts for the first time in 2026. Tema Matsuda makes way. Kyoto Sanga also go 3-4-2-1. Rafael Papagayo has scored in his last 3 appearances for today's visitors and can boast 13 goals in his last 14 games for Cho Kui-jae's team. Marco Tullio and Okagawa will provide support. So here we go, Fagiano Okayama versus Kyoto Sanga, 2 teams that have started this special season in very different ways. Faji still searching for their first win. Sanga unbeaten so far, and they know a win will see them claim top spot in Group West. They are favourites to pick up the 3 points here. Fagiano Okayama have drawn 3 of their 4 matches so far, and in only 1 of those 3 games have managed to pick up the extra point by way of a penalty shootout success. Koji Takasaki is set, and we're underway then here. Fagiano Okayama versus Kyoto Sanga. Going to be interesting to see how Fagiano Okayama go about their business. They've generally been a counter-attacking side this season. Their average possession under 40% this season. It ranks the lowest of all of the sides in the J1 League, East and West combined. Will they look to be a little more front-footed in this fixture against Kyoto Sanga, a team that likes to dominate both last season and this? They rank 5th for possession metrics this season. They've been an aggressive side, a side that likes to play with ambition. Kokuchi Ota has been good so far this season, as he was last term. Started 36 of 38 fixtures. Very much first choice over the last couple of campaigns. A really good shot stopper and a keeper that likes to command his area as well. How busy or otherwise will he be today? We will find out over the course of the 90. It's the guy rushing across to take the throw. Papagayo just inside the penalty area, 2 waiting for the delivery. as Fagiano Okayama looked to clear and win a free kick. Sugai getting forward from the back as he likes to do. Featured in all bar one fixture last season. Weighed in with a couple of goals as well, signed from Kashima Antlers ahead of last term. Takashi Kiyama, who did brilliantly with Fagiano Okayama to lift them into the top flight after winning the J2 playoffs in 2024. Former player with Gambaro Osaka amongst others. And an experienced coach as well, who's been with Faji since the 2022 campaign. That's a little loose. This is Kamiya. A lot of space on this near side, but Shirai won't get to that. Sato towards Papagayo. Click forward, looking for the run here of Kimura. Back in by Ichimi. Just won't fall for a player in red. This is Kimura again. Yamani over on that left-hand side. Does well to keep possession here for Fagiano Okayama. Kamiya. Last game 1-1 against Nagoya before winning the shootout 5-4. 5 successful penalties. Bit of a whack in the right eye here for Camille. Let's see how this occurred. I'm not quite sure where the contact was. First start of the season for Yuta Kamiya. In and out the starting lineup last season, just the one goal, that coming against Antlers back in June of last year. Signed from Gangwon back in the summer of 2024. As Chokui J patrols the technical area. Tough defender in his day as a player, played for Kashiwa Reysol, Urawa Reds and Vissel Kobe. And coached Shonan Bellmare for a long time, won the J2 title in 2014 and 2017. And has been with Kyoto Sanga since the start of the 2021 season. Whistle's gone again here. Pedro is combative, ever present so far this season. Picked up 10 yellow cards last term, 2 already this term in just the 4 games. Former Vitória player, a Brazilian who was much travelled in his native country before moving to the J-League. First season in Japan last term. But he's settled in nicely this season and has started every single fixture. Flicked on towards Kimura. Flicked away by Fukuda. Turn round the corner by Kamiya. Here is Pedro. Volleyed forward by the Brazilian. Taken down first time as well by Okugawa. Turns into trouble. Well, Marco Tulio wanted the free kick. Now, who's this been given for? Seemed too much wrong with that. Both going for the ball, but the decision goes Kyoto Sanga's way. You see that Kudo doesn't quite agree with the referee, Koji Takasaki. Signed at the start of last season from Urawa Reds. First campaign last term in the top flight for the 22-year-old, who also had spells at Fujieda and Kita Yushu. Played down the divisions, including in the 3rd tier, but took his opportunity last season in the top flight brilliantly with 21 starts. Yet to score in the top flight, but really his job in the team was just trying to get his instructions across here. Just a 2nd appearance in Japanese football for the former Union Berlin stopper. Standing over this, shot has been taken, but it ricochets around, and then one on the turn from Enriquez wide. A defender that likes to get forward. He scored against Sanfrecce Hiroshima in the 3rd minute of added on time to secure a 2-1 away success for Kyoto Sanga. Signed at the start of the season from FC Tokyo after 55 appearances for the capital club. He's got good experience in the J1 League, also turned out for Oita. Brief spell in European football in Portugal with Famalicão and Estoril. Part of a back three along with Suzuki and Sugai. Back to the day job of defending there for the big Brazilian. Shirai to take. On loan from FC Tokyo. Kimura will turn. Miyamoto. Cleverly done, and this is the effort that's wide of the target. It was shifting from Ichimi. He will be doubly determined to make his mark here. Kazunari Ichimi, 5 goals last season. Yet to score so far this term, just cut across it a little. Plenty of power, no real precision. Former Kyoto Sanga player, 61 appearances for the team that he faces today, 17 goals. Won their last 2 games, Kyoto Sanga, against Sanfrecce Hiroshima, and prior to that a 2-0 home success against Avispa Fukuoka. Drew their first 2 this season. Lost the shootout against Vissel Kobe after a 1-1 home draw, and then won the shootout 3-1 against Espulse after a 1-1 away fixture. They've scored in all 4 so far this campaign, and 2 in their last 2. But they've been something of a second half side. They've been slow starters, in contrast to Fagiano Okayama. 3 of their 4 goals have come in the opening 45 minutes, but as we explained in the preamble, they have failed to get over the line. 3 times they've taken the leading fixtures in their 4 games so far, but haven't managed to win. Steps away from the first challenge and comes racing forward, 3 inside the penalty area. Not the worst ball in, the flick doesn't quite come off. Shirai again. Lost out on that occasion though. Won back by Kamiya. Papagayo rides the first challenge, runs into a little bit of traffic. Miyamoto wins it back. Here he is again, won't get to that. That's a late challenge though, that's going to be a free kick. Is offered by Papagayo, who's been in tremendous form recently, scored in each of his last 3 appearances, the last against Sanfrecce last weekend, 18 last season, including a couple of hat-tricks, then did a treble against FC Tokyo and a 4-0 away success back in August, and also 3 against Albirex in April. Kyoto Sanga. Here is Papagayo to turn on the edge of the area. Shot on the turn just allowed the Fagiano Okayama players to get back in defensive position. João Pedro's been penalised here. He's halfway to another yellow card, I think, already. Just unable to halt his run as he clatters into Yamane. Well, honours even after 10, nearly 11 minutes. Well, the interested observer was Hajime Moriyasu, the head coach of the national team. To keep an eye on here, but no regular starters for Japan, one of the first teams to qualify for the World Cup finals later this year. It's an awkward looking ball in. Shirai nearly got something on that. Collected comfortably at the near post by Gakuji Ota. João Pedro, Fukuda, Sugai, easily collected by Kudo, Miyamoto, have been a little unfortunate. According to some of the underlying numbers, Fagiano Okayama, their expected goals against this season just 2.9, but they've conceded 5, so any sort of regression would see them be a little tighter at the back, you fancy. Flick forward towards Kimura, cleared away by Enrique. Kimura again, Ichimi waits inside the penalty area. It is Kimura once more, he's got 2 to deal with. He's managed to keep it in play, but hasn't found a teammate. Eventually the shot does come in, but it's fairly wild and wide of the target. Points are not required on that occasion, as the shot came in from the left-hand side. Kamiya taking aim. Last goal came against Antlers last season. Just one solitary strike that found the back of the net from Yuta Kamiya. Given away by Kyoto Sanga, just a little bit loose at the minute. The second place team in Group West. Forward by Kudo. All sorts of holding and pushing and shoving, but Kimura does well. And still Fagiano Okayama come forward, given away. Takami, Miyamoto, Shirai. Ooh, was the Achilles just caught? Free kick. Didn't seem too much in that one. Sato penalised. Should be easy for the keeper, and is. Motor collects. Pitch looks a little dry. They were heavily watering the playing surface ahead of the action. Maybe not conducive to the type of football that both of these teams want to play. Fukuda, João Pedro. Kept in play just. Not a lot in it. João Pedro again. Fukuda. Okagawa with the good running. And Papagayo, edge of the area, the space on this near side. It's come back towards Papagayo. Initial touch was by Marco Tullio. Well, these two teams ranked 19th and 20th. Kyoto Sanga, Fagiano Okayama respectively for accurate passes per 90. And those stats, well, you can see why. Both have been a little loose inside the opening 15 minutes here, not quite finding teammates with any sort of regularity. The radar's been off, and it's getting to be more stop than start. No one finding any real rhythm early on. Haven't won any of the last 6 at home Fagiano Okayama. Obviously a run that stretches back to last season, since they defeated Shonan Bellmare 1-0 back in August of last year. And they were so good at the start of last season. They won 4 of their first 6. They were unbeaten in their opening half a dozen matches. But this season it hasn't been anything like as strong. Still to find that first win. This is a 3rd game in front of their own fans. Some defensive work to do here. Sugai to send this one spinning inside the Faji penalty area by the looks of things. There's 2 players short here. Sugai will deliver inside the boxes towards João Pedro. There's some pushing and shoving. That's going to be a free kick. Faji throw. Shirai on this near side across to take it, and with the defensive header. And Shirai will take. Makotorio jumps and fouls. And Shirai has gone down. It's going to be another free kick there, inching a little closer towards that Kyoto Sanga penalty area. Drew the last away game with Espulse. Then the win against Sanfrecce, I should say, their 2nd away fixture. 10 wins from 19 last term. And all of their goals this season away from home have come very late on in fixtures, all 3 post the 80th minute, and 2 in added on time. But unbeaten in their last 8 in all competitions since they were knocked out of the Emperor's Cup at Machida Delvia back in early August. They haven't been beaten in the J1 League since late May, when they went down 1-0 to Tokyo Verdy in the capital. Some defending to do here, though, for Kyoto Sanga. Kamiya to curl this one in. Plenty of red in red waiting for the delivery. It's not the worst as well. Flicked away. Again, the referee intervenes. Well, 1 or 2 of the Faji players felt that was most certain to be their throw. Wasn't given. Tatsuta came up from the back, but unable to affect play. To score since moving from Kashiwa Reysol ahead of the 25 campaign. Yamane with a throw. Isaka goes short. Cleared away by Suzuki. Moza. Enrique doesn't need to touch it. It bounces through towards Gakuji Ota. Sato. Kamiya. Tatsuta. Tagami to his left. Kamiya. Uchimi makes the run. Quite happy to see that one bounce out for a corner. So opportunity here then for Fagiano Okayama. Corner from the right-hand side as Tatsuta is up from the back. Ichimi waits, Kimura as well. Delivery has to be good. Let's see what Kamiya can do from this right-hand side. Delivery so far haven't been great. Outswinger. And it comes Flicked around, ricochets inside the 6-yard box, but the effort from Tagami is blocked. This is Marco Tullio back with defensive work. And Papagayo, if he can flick it forwards here, there's an opportunity to counter, but there are plenty of Faji players in defensive positions. Marco Tullio has joined the attack though now for Kyoto Sanga. Still they come forward. This is Yoon. Once again, Yoon with a touch. Marco Tullio to turn and shoot. Comfortable save from Musa. First time we've seen Yoo Sung-yeon getting involved in the action. Made one League Cup appearance last season. This is his debut campaign in league play, just 18 years old. Given the nod by Cho Kui-jae once again here, a third start of the season for the teenager. Ball over the top for Ichimi to chase. The flag has stayed down here for now, and then it goes up. Scuffed a little, wasn't it, really? Watched all the way by Lennart Moser. He's got good experience in European football, was playing in the Danish second tier before coming to Japan, was a regular for Kolding. 49 appearances for them after moving from Belgian club Eupen, had a spell at Klagenfurt, on loan from Union Berlin, where he started his career, also played at Cercle Brugge. Did a brilliant job last season, Cho Kui-jae. No one really expected Kyoto Sanga to challenge for top honours, and they were very much in the title mix last season. They finished 8 points behind the eventual champions, but they were top on the 20th of September. However, they hit a real flat spot in the autumn, just 3 wins in their last 10, and 2 of those 3 wins were pretty much when the game was up, their last 2 fixtures. Shame they didn't go further in the knockout competitions, beaten in the 4th round of the Emperor's Cup by Machida Zelvia. In the 3rd round of the League Cup, they went down 4-1 at home to Cerezo Osaka. Focus was very much on the top flight, and they did well to finish 3rd, highest ever finishing position. Not so long ago, of course, they were a J2 side. Had to win a playoff to stay in the top division a few years ago. João Pedro set up nicely for him, takes a deflection, comfortable for Moser. Well, just beyond the midpoint of this first half, no goals between Fagiano Okayama and Kyoto Sanga. Kyoto Sanga were 2nd top scorers last season with 62. Only Kawasaki Frontali netted more, and they were a little leaky at the back, conceded 40. One of the reasons why they didn't manage to get over the line in their title bid. Sugai. Flicked on by Ichimi. Gakuji Ota. Henrik. Sato to his left. Yoon for Suzuki. Papagayo looks to flick it on, claiming handball, and they get the decision. % possession so far for Fagiano Okayama. 4 shots to Kyoto Sanga's 5. 0-1 target though for the hosts so far. Marco Tullio will go again, but as you can see, the ball just seemed to lose a bit of pace and almost flick up off the turf. João Pedro. Henrik. Yoon to turn. It's a throw-in. Quite sure what the issue was there. Cleverly done by Yamane. Really good skill and turn of pace. Kimura helps out. Kamiya. Turn back by Miyamoto. Kimura. Kyoto Sanga well organised at the back. Just the one clean sheet so far this season. That was at home. Faji yet to register a shutout. Well, so far, no goals here. Yoon. Suzuki. Yoon again. Suzuki again. Here comes the press from Fagiano Okayama. Back to front a little quicker. Awkward header from Tagami. Taken down well on the right-hand side by Okugawa, who was fouled. In fact, no, that goes Faji's way. Fagiano Okayama started out in the regional leagues not so long ago. They won titles outside of the top two tiers in 06 and 07, rose to J2 first in 2008. 16 years in the second tier. Played top flight football for the first time in 2025 after winning the playoffs in 2024. Through to the edge of the area by Marco Tullio, cleared away by Tatsuta, and the breakaway is on here. Kyoto Sanga have got players back. Miyamoto, Kamiya, loses out to Enrique. This is João Pedro, clever from Marco Tullio. Threaded through here towards Okugawa. The flag has stayed down, it's still Okugawa. And now it's Marco Tullio. And then the flag goes up. Well, they waited an age here. I mean, he's off by a yard, and that's when the flag really should have gone up. 20 seconds later, we're still playing. Yoon to control, been busy on the ball but clever with it as well so far. The teenager spins away from a couple of potential challengers. Now João Pedro, he runs into trouble. Shirai wins it back. Really his game to act as a left winger. Yoon. João Pedro. Suzuki. Sugai with the layoff. Taken down really neatly by Fukuda. This is Yoon. Okugawa. Flag has stayed down again here. Papagayo tries to get forward, and the flag did stay down on this occasion. Or did it? No. Yeah, it's been frustrating for him so far. Right call. Didn't quite make the grade at Palmeiras or Cruzeiro. Had a spell out in the Gulf. But he scored a lot of goals in Japanese football. 32 in 46, his record for Kyoto Sanga, having come mid-season in 2024. João Pedro. Yoon. Spins up off Kimura. Suzuki. Ota forced outside of his penalty area. Had a bit of space to work with there, but belts it long for Papagayo towards Marco Tullio. Miyamoto forwards. And Kimura's on the charge. Cleared away, though. No chances taken by Enrique. Yamane is to drive on towards goal. It's all a bit awkward inside the penalty area. This is Shirai. One step over and another. Two players to try and deal with. Matsuda to curl in. Glancing header is good from Isaka, but comfortably stopped by Ota. Isaka scored against Sanfrecce in the 1-1 draw in February, the penalty shootout defeat to last season. Scored against Tokyo Verdy in a 4-2 away defeat. Only goal at home coming against Albirex Niigata back in May, and the 2-1 home success. Same from Ulsan. Isaka. Nodded down by Kimura. Fukuda. Well, the fans are playing their part, they're doing their bit. There's been good energy from the stands, but it hasn't quite transferred to those on the pitch thus far. Defence is on top. We've had 34 minutes, 0-0. Gakuji Ota decides to go long. Middle third set, wasted. No, kept in play. Can only find a Faji player. Shirai. Hosts on the move. Shirai electing to run at the Kyoto Sanga back line, but he's stopped in his tracks and then he's fouled, but play continues. This is Tatsuta. Kuro. Tagami. Moza. Sugai. Miyamoto. Coming to turn it back. This is Tagami. Papagayo chasing everything down at the moment. Forceful press. João Pedro joins in. Easily done by Tatsuta. Kuro. Miyamoto. Kuro. Yamane. Movement through the middle and on this near side, taken down by Kimura. Shirai looks to use his body strength here. Ichimi to curl in. The worst delivery, cleared away by Fukuda. Awkward bounce for Kamiya to deal with, and he's lost possession now. Is there a counter on here? Haven't really got the players in advanced areas. Arms out from Okugawa, needed some runners. Sugai. Suzuki. João Pedro. Sugai in field. Okugawa. Yoon. João Pedro. It's neat and tidy. Is there a bit of end product here from Kyoto Sanga? Reverse ball towards João Pedro once again. Fukuda calling for it. Time maybe to measure the cross, not quite. João Pedro. Well, that's clever footwork. And the cross is good. Papagawa. Well, two players went for the same cross, Sato and Papagayo. Must think that Sato got in Papagayo's way or the other way around. Let's take another look. This was the clever play. João Pedro gets his head up. It's a good ball in. It was Sato that made connection. Papagayo leapt for it but didn't get anything on it. Marco Tullio's not happy about something. Forward by Yoon. Kamiya around the corner. This is Sato. Marco Tullio. And again, Yoon out-muscled on that occasion. And Tagami has to find touch. Sato. Kept in by Okugawa. João Pedro. And again, Marco Tullio. Papagayo outside of the penalty area, curled back in. Well, that hits Shirai, that's a corner. First time there's a little bit of pressure really on that Fagiano Okayama goal. Some more forceful play from Kyoto Sanga. We've just seen a little bit more of the ball in the last 10 minutes or so. The possession stats have swung round in Kyoto Sanga's favour. 52-48 now for the visitors. Papagayo to take. That goes the signal. Outswinger, left-footed. 5 to aim at, 2 inside the 6-yard box. Enrique with a header. But he spun away from his marker really well, the Brazilian centre-half. The header down was firm, but Moser collected comfortably. Papagayo puts a bit of pressure on the German keeper, who eventually does go long. João Pedro. Kyoto Sanga just beginning to get the upper hand here. Curled towards Papagayo on the right-hand side. The flag has stayed down for now. Papagayo still has it here, looking to thread it through, and then the flag goes up. Presuming it was Papagayo offside. Enrique's header again. Pace of the cross was always dropping. Need to generate the power himself, always difficult. João Pedro. his influence growing on this fixture, the Brazilian midfielder. Fagiano Okayama have possession again, though. Flick in field doesn't quite work out from Miyamoto, but Faji still have possession. This is Kamiya. Tatsuta. Kamiya again. Tenacious play from Yoon. Tatsuta. Shirai with a step over. Kept in play just by Kimura. No real room to manoeuvre, but Fagiano Okayama still have possession. Yamane. Kuro. Yamane goes again. And Faji come up with ball. Here is Yamane once more. Marco Tullio easily intercepts. João Pedro needs to get a hurry up on here. Eventually goes down. Referee gives the call the visitors' way. And we've got 3 minutes or so until half-time. João Pedro. Isaka. Up against Sugai, who's got the pace and the muscle to win it. But then it goes out for a corner. It's claiming he was being fouled. Made a bit of a meal of that in the end. Fagiano Okayama with a corner. Tatsuta up from the back. Tagami there as well. Kamiya to curl in. In swinger this time, it's low. It's a real daisy cutter that's easily cleared away. Is there a breakaway on? Not quite. Papagayo with an up and under for Marco Tullio to control. Does well. Gets away from Miyamoto. Needs a bit of help though here. The Brazilian still has possession. Here come the cavalry. João Pedro is leading the charge as Kyoto Sanga get a few more players in advanced areas. Fast feet once again from João Pedro, showing his skills in this first half. Better set now maybe to try and punish Fagiano Okayama into the final minute of the half. João Pedro. Enrique. Wasted. A little bit of chat between referee and captain. Enrique with a header. João Pedro clips it forward. Marco Tullio on the move. Nodded back by Kudo. Yoon does well. Papagayo also. Sugai forward towards Fukuda, who was caught. Free kick. Might be a card here as well, and is. Yamane goes into the book. First caution of the game. Fukuda, who turned his man. Card of this special season. The player that doesn't get booked too often. Came through at the Cerezo Osaka Academy, played for their under-23 side for a few years before moving on to Yokohama FC, was a regular before moving to Faji back end of last season in the close season in December. Last chance maybe here. We have a minute of the added on time, and it comes. Marco Tullio hooks it back in, and the referee has blown for the half. Well, defence is very much on top. Two well-organised sides here. Haven't really given many clear-cut opportunities up, if any. Papagayo, who's been brilliant so far this season, who scored in his last three, hasn't had too many sniffs. Meanwhile, at the other end, the likes of Kamiya, Kimura and Ichimi have been held fairly comfortably by the Sanga backline. At the break, it's Fagiano Okayama 0, Kyoto Sanga 0.
PK 戦復活。17年ぶりのオールスター戦。ダゾーン全試合配信。この先もただごとじゃない今季の J 特別な J リーグダゾーン。
2026年6月13日、あの J リーグオールスターが17年の時を超え MUFG 国立によみがえる J リーグオールスターダゾーンカップ開催決定。あの選手とあの選手が同じチームに、あの選手のアシストであの選手がゴールなど、クラブ間の境界線を越えて熱狂できる。出場する選手を決める投票方法は それではここでファジアノ岡山チアダンススクールからのお知らせです。ファジアノ岡山チアダンススクールは無料体験会を開催します。対象は未就学児から小学生までです。それではここで本日の団体観戦の皆様をご紹介いたします。
J リーグファンサポーターの祭典 J リーグオールスターダゾーンカップ。出場する選手はファンサポーターによる投票と明治安田 J リーグ100年構想リーグのベストイレブンから選ばれます。この動画ではファンサポーター投票の詳細を説明します。投票方法は通常投票、スタジアム観戦投票、ダゾーン投票の3つ。通常投票は J リーグ公式 LINE または J リーグ所属の各クラブの公式 LINE のリッチメニューからオールスター投票を選択して参加します。 J リーグ ID に登録するだけで無料で簡単に投票に参加できます。スタジアム観戦投票は明治安田 J リーグ100年構想リーグの試合でご覧のいずれかのアクションを実施することで1試合ごとに LINE で投票できる投票権を獲得できます。投票権は対象試合の翌日までに付与されます。ダゾーン投票は試合視聴中のライブチャット機能ファンゾーンやアプリのログイン時に表示されるバナーから参加できます。通常投票とダゾーン投票は1週間に1回行うことができ、毎週新しい投票権を獲得することができます。スタジアム観戦投票は観戦した数だけ何度でも投票できます。続いて投票方法を説明します。1回の投票ごとにオールスターに出場してほしいと思う選手を6名までと監督1名を選んで投票します。選手はフォワード、ミッドフィルダー、ディフェンダー、ゴールキーパーの各ポジションから1名ずつの4名、さらに自由枠としてポジションにこだわらず追加で2名を選択。この時同じ選手に重複して投票はできません。最後に監督を選んだら投票完了です。投票は2月6日の明治安田 J リーグ100年構想リーグ開幕からスタートし、5月11日まで何度でも行うことができます。お気に入りの選手に今すぐ投票を。
戦がスタートします。この時間、この曲に合わせて全員で手を叩いていこう。
Welcome back, match day 5 of this special season. Fagiano Okayama versus Kyoto Sanga. No goals in the opening 45 minutes between the two. Kyoto Sanga were a little more forceful towards the end of the first half and did start to create 1 or 2 opportunities. But in truth, keepers haven't had too much to do. A little bit of chat there between the only player that was booked in the first half, Towa Yamane, and today's referee Koji Takasaki. It's been a little stop-start with decisions going against both clubs. Neither side really building any significant or serious momentum. We are going to see a change here. An interesting one as well, as Yoon Sung-yun, who I thought played pretty well in the first half, has gone off. And Teiki Hirato is on for the second period for Kyoto Sanga. Hirato has been used as a sub exclusively so far this season. Was a regular last term as well, started 30 of the 38 games. On for the second half, it'll be like for like. A midfielder. Maybe Yoon Sung-yun picked up an injury, just 18, but I thought he was fairly busy in midfield for Kyoto Sanga. We'll see what Hirato can do in his stead. The Fagiano Okayama players in a huddle ahead of this second half. They've had 1 or 2 fleeting chances. Don't think it's quite working with Ichimi and Kimura. Just wonder when Lukao might come on, the Brazilian who did score against Gambaro Osaka 5 last season. For the much-travelled Brazilian, number 99. We'll see if he comes on at some stage. Underway then for the second half. Fagiano Okayama 0, Kyoto Sanga 0. After 45 minutes here, and Kyoto Sanga attacking the goal away to our right as we watch in this second period. Thumped forward by Enrique, who had a header comfortably saved by Moser in the first half. Just a couple of opportunities that were on target. That looked a poor challenge. Referees let it go. Suzuki underneath it. Enrique will have to battle here. Loses out to Kimura. Ichimi waits inside the penalty area. This is Shirai. Isaka. Shirai again. Isaka has it once more. It's going to be a corner. Seen him more on the left than the right. Atara Isaka. Kamiya to take the corner for Faji. 6 inside the area, waiting for the delivery. Tatsuta tries to get first run and does, but cannot direct his corner, his header on target from the corner. It was a really good run. Made a positive move towards the near post, but the glancing header was wide. Concerned glances from the Sanga backline, but a good few meters wide of the post. Picked up the flight of the ball very early. Yet to score this season, or last J1 goal, July 2020 for Espulse against Oita. Going to play it down. Well, some chatter between players and physio here. Where did this occur? Enrique's gone down. This is a better angle. Runs into his own player. Just a whack to the face as he runs into Papagayo. Lost his man, that was the problem. Tatsuta has already made a move to the near post. Bit of concern from the visiting fans who have come in their numbers as usual. Chokui J made the change at half-time, bringing Taiki Hirato on. Won't want to make a change at the back unless he has to, but Enrique okay to continue. Pedro. Curled to the edge of the area, and Okugawa flicked on though here for Kimura. Miyamoto, Shirai. Wriggles free on that right-hand side, looks to go again. He's going to spin back towards Suzuki, who will clear first time. Mentioned that Fagiano Okayama were generally a first-half team in Kyoto Sanga. The reverse coming on strong in the second period. Takashi Kiyama will hope that that is not going to repeat itself in this fixture. Haven't managed to clean sheet in any of their last 11 games. Their last shutout coming against Yokohama FC back in September. Just one win in their last 15. Shocking end to the campaign last term. Ninth as late as August, and failed to win any of the next 10. 7 defeats, 3 draws, won the last game of the season. Knocked out the Emperor's Cup and the League Cup by Kitakyushu. Just another pause to proceedings here, but should be okay to continue. It's another throw. João Pedro down now. I don't think we've seen too many minutes of action in the 6.5 since the restart. João Pedro still down. Gum shield is out. Straight back into the action, and it's another throw. Shirai. Kimura. It's a corner. From set pieces, Fagiano Okayama have been a little better than Kyoto Sanga. There's been some good movement inside the penalty area. Enrique was forced to get across to deny Kimura on that occasion. It should be Kamiya to spin this one in. Seen some good movement from the likes of Tatsuta and Tagami. Keep your eye on the number 48. Had that free header just a few minutes ago. He'll be watched a little closer, you would have thought, this time around. Kamiya with the outswinger. Kamiya, again, it's good delivery. It evades everyone in red inside the box. It's come out to this near side, and Yamane, he beats his man. Can't quite get the cross in, cleared away by Enrique. Musa. Kept in play, not quite. There's good industry about Fagiano Okayama since the restart. Shoulders of the wheel for sure, but no real quality in those advanced areas, bar that header that flashed wide. Pedro's gone down again here. He's been in the walls in the last few minutes, the Brazilian. Let's have a look at this. Clash of heads. Unintentional, but certainly caught the Kyoto Sanga number 6. He's usually dishing it out rather than on the receiving end. As we mentioned, 10 yellow cards last season, 2 this. Made the permanent switch this season after a loan spell from Vitória. Last season at CRB in Brazil, picked up 11 cautions. In Serie B in Brazil. Be keen for João Pedro to continue. Certainly towards the end of the first half, his influence was growing on the game. He got on the ball a lot more, showed some really neat touches. Flick forward towards Okayama. Shirai. Miyamoto. Opportunity here, perhaps, but Ichimi runs into trouble. Shirai will get the ball in. Pounced upon by Gakuji Ota. Seems to pick up pace on this pitch and spin out very quickly. It's not been easy for both sets of players. There was a little bit of water put down at half-time as well. Just not expecting expecting goals, hoping for goals, looking to get their team over the line for the first time this season by way of a win. Not been easy for Fagiano Okayama and their supporters so far. This is Sugai for Kyoto Sanga, nodded back by Kamiya. Enrique puts the laces through that one, an old-fashioned up and under for Papagayo to jump for. Tatsuda beats him in the air, flick forward by Kamiya. Enrique will nod it back. Oh, and Ota outside of his area, didn't really expect that. Isaka. Faji come again. Isaka once more, this is Shirai. Saka wants it back. Ichimi calling for it inside the area. João Pedro across. Coolly done by the Brazilian. Tatsuta. Click forward again. That's another corner. In the second half, I would suggest that the hosts have had the better of it. 64% of the ball since the restart. Only 51% all told in this fixture, so that gives you some indication of how Takashi Kiyama's side have come out after the break and tried to be a little more aggressive and play on the front foot and push Kyoto Sanga back. That's what they're doing here. Kamiya to take again, low to the near post, cleared away. Papagayo with the defensive work, the centre forward. Kamiya, Shirai, up against Marco Tullio. Shirai again. Isaka has to spin outside of the penalty area. That's a good-looking ball in towards Yamane. Well, they're finding one or two angles, finding their range here. Good movement towards the far post. Look at the run of Yamane. Just the one goal last season. 4 in total in 102 appearances for Yokohama FC since switching to Fagiano for this season. Yet to score. Papagayo on his way. Just a little bit more of a hurry up here from both teams as we pass the hour. Enrique. Renato battling, not seen too much of him since coming on at half-time. Cleared away by Mose. Kept in play. Flick forward by Kimura, but Ichimi not that far advanced, and it bounces through to Ota. This is where the incident occurred. It's just a follow-through, isn't it? Just a little winded, maybe. So what's the next option or options for Chokuije? Changes afoot for Kyoto Sanga as they strive to get ahead and maybe grab the 3 points that would send them top of the table in Group West. Ota. Nodding back by Kuro. Cleared to this near side of Marco Tullio. Ricochets around for João Pedro. Marco Tullio again. Okayama inside the area. João Pedro's shot. Didn't quite hit it, always going wide. Okagawa's good run initially. Hit it into the turf. maybe on purpose initially to get that spin up, but from then on in it was curling away from goal. So here come the changes. Fuji Honda one to come on, and Haruki Arai the other. Okugawa and Sato the players to come off. Well, Arai has been in and out of the starting lineup since signing late last year from Sagan. Former Cerezo Osaka player, Fuji Honda. Just one substitute appearance so far this season on loan from Sagan Tosu. João Pedro. Kibona. Tatsuta goes down, free kick. Double switch here. No real surprise that Lucao's going to come on, the number 99. It hasn't really worked for Ichimi. And Yamane is the other player that's going to come off here. And Matsumoto is going to come on. Well, in Lucao and Matsumoto, players that have scored this season. Matsumoto netted against Avispa in the 1-1 draw. Lucao in the 2-1 home defeat against Gambaro Osaka. But a different type of striker to deal with now in the shape of number 99, Lucao. Matsumoto will also bolster attacking options, but keep your eye on the giant 99. Kamiya, collected comfortably by Ota. Ota with a free kick, 0-0 as we approach the midpoint of this second half. Lucao could be away, play's going to be pulled back. Well, there's a bit of shirt pulling from both, isn't there? Here is Lucao again, who backs in and controls, backs in again and wins the ball. And still going, he's not going to be denied here, and then brought down Sugai, and that's going to be a free kick. Real persistent play from the substitute. He would have been injured in the process. Battles through two players. And again, but not then. Look how the obvious target, but Tatsuta up from the back as well as Takashi Kiyama's side look to try and make another set piece tell. pretty much everything so far, Kamiya, left and right. Just got to wait for the whistle. So Kura forward, Tatsuda forward, Lukao is inside the penalty area. Kamiya to curl in, plenty of red waiting for the delivery. Fairly flat and knocked away. Isaka. Isaka again to curl in towards Lukao. Good, Tulio flicks it forward. Kuda towards Shirai, who's come to this near side. Look out, Shirai, rise the first challenge, still going, wants it on his right side. Isaka has to do better. Captain fluffs his lines. Look out to turn. The block is good. Isaka will get another go to curl inside the area, and the volley is over by some distance by Kimura. But the chances are beginning to fall Fagiano Okayama's way, who have been the better side since the restart. This was the last opportunity, the first one I'd like to see again. Isaka probably won't. Spectacular scissor kick was on, but it is a chance that comes with a fairly high tariff, and Kimura can keep the effort down. Hit to score this season for last. Well, that looked an awkward fall from Kudo. He would have just winded himself there. Seemingly okay to continue. What page of the playbook do we go to here? Another change for Faji. Well, Kota Kawano was the player that grabbed the late lever against Nagoya last time out. They're going to turn to him again by the looks of things. Makoturio, Lukao. Honda. By Suzuki, Sugai he's into trouble. Shirai takes the touch. That's going to be a free kick for Kyoto Sanga. Only one clean sheet in the last 6 away from home. They have scored in their last 8 in all competitions, and 10 J1 away games, Kyoto Sanga. They're usually good for a strike away, but so far being held by Fagiano Okayama. Maybe an opportunity here, though. Taiki Herato. João Pedro. Marco Tullio, wait. Papagayo. Half-time sub. Hasn't really been able to stamp his authority on the fixture. Let's see what he can do with this free kick. Zonal marking towards the far post. Taken down first time, and Sugai does get the cross in, cleared away, and then Kamiya does a good job of clearing. What about the pace though here? There's Fagiano Okayama trying to get the counter going. Shirai did everything right initially, then turns back and runs into trouble. Wants it all on his right foot. He's come across to play left wing back, but he's very right-footed. Here comes the switch that we were talking about with Kawano coming on. Sign from Renafa ahead of this season getting underway. All of his career in the lower leagues, but he scored a great goal against Nagoya last time out. And it's the ineffective Komura that's coming off. Shirai with a throw. Hoisted inside the area, cleared away by Enrique. Miyamoto. Tatsuta. It's a clever flick. This is Lukao! Wonderful save! Looked all on the opener. Shirai scrambles inside the area, wasn't fouled by Marco Tullio. Shirai gets back up. Marco Tullio to clear. Kyoto Sanga throw. Closest we've come, I reckon. Miyamoto does well initially, and then just a leave, really, isn't it, from the substitute Kawano. Tees up, look out. Forcefully struck, but well saved. Gakuji Ota in the way. Papagao. Just over 15 minutes remaining. We've had the odd stoppage, certainly earlier on in this second half, so we might stretch to 5 or 6 minutes of added on time. We'll find out in 15. Fukuda, meanwhile, takes the throw in here. Here he is again. Fukuda to measure the cross. Tagami away. Really back in by Hirato. This is Papagayo and Tullio! Marco Tullio. May well have had it. Debatable. Really difficult opportunity, but he obviously feels that he should have done a little bit better. Difficult to criticise, though. Had an XG of 0.05, that chance. XG stats 0.7 to 0.42 in Fagiano Okayama's favour. Here is Lukao, had that big chance earlier. Pedro takes it down, runs into a little bit of traffic, but still manages to work the ball over to the left-hand side. Arai, who goes again, and is racing free here with a substitute. Arai needs a bit of help. Two players look at the ball, the third has to run across to pick it up. This is Fukuda. Clever for Marco Tullio, scuffs his shot. Hirato, oh! Thought he might bounce in for an own goal, but it goes into the arms of Moser instead. Taiki Hirato, and suddenly chances at both ends. This is Hirato. Fukuda. Marco Tullio to flick on Papagaio. João Pedro. Loses out to Isaka initially. This is Kamiya. Look out. Back heel doesn't quite work out, and reads it well and comes across to clear. Look out, backing in, showing control and good awareness. Isaka likewise. João Pedro steps up. Kawano. João Pedro, Marco Tullio. Swept back by Miyamoto. And now Tatsuta. Has come inside the fullback, but it should be easy for Gakuji Ota. Henrik. Over the head of Marco Tullio. This is Shirai. Well, just over 10 minutes away, plus added on time of another shootout that would be required. Isaka to split these two. Fagiano Okayama, 3 shootouts so far, just 1 win. 1 from 2 for Kyoto Sanga. Isaka again, who could be in here. Lukau is calling for it. This is Lukau, and still, has to do better. Sloppy. Isaka, the skipper, finds Lukau onside. Surely he's got to take it first time. Brave save by Ota. Gets out really well and bravely. Really good stop. Huge opportunity again, falls to the big Brazilian who's on as a substitute. And we're going to see another Brazilian here as Wedik Popo comes on. And it's Isaka who's had a couple of chances in this second half to come off. And Agura is on for Kamiya. Kosai Agura to join in for the final 10. National team coach seems to be enjoying himself. Kosai Agura, who he's certainly one to watch. He's only 20, but he did play for Japan in last autumn's World Cup at under 20 level. Japan beaten in the round of 16 by France by a goal to 0. Sent off against Sanfrecce Hiroshima a couple of weeks ago. Was banned for last week's game against Nagoya. Free kick goes in Faji's favour. Get a winner. As we mentioned already, from a Kyoto Sanga point of view, this is when they tend to come alive. Lukau flicks it on for Faji. 2-1 win against Sanfrecce Hiroshima last time out. Goals coming in the 81st and the 93rd minute. The game prior to that, second goal coming in the 77th minute. Marco Tullio against Avispa. And the game prior to that, 90 plus 12. Papagayo providing the late leveller against Espels. But it is the side from Okayama coming forward again here with a bit of purpose. Tatsuta, 3 inside the area. It's towards the far post where nobody is. Kept in play by Shirai. He'll want it on his right. Still Shirai to curl in. Again, good delivery, nodded down and swept home! With 7 minutes remaining. Fagiano Okayama have the lead. Matsumoto, right place, right time to smash in. Kyoto Sanga's resistance has been broken. And Fagiano Okayama just 7 minutes away from a first win of the new campaign. They wouldn't let it go. Real persistent play. The nod down was perfect. And the finish emphatic. Credit Shirai with the ball to the back post. The nod down was perfectly weighted, this. And on the half volley from close in, he got to the pitch of the ball really well here. Matsumoto high into the roof of the net, giving Oto no chance whatsoever. He'd been brilliant in the last 10 or 15 minutes keeping out Faji, but not on this occasion. And Masaya Matsumoto restored to the starting lineup, having netted against Avispa Fukuoka last month, gets his second of the season. It is Fagiano Okayama 1, Kyoto Sanga 0. And there might be more here. Locao goes down. Well, I think on their second half display, they have deserved it. Not over yet, of course, and there will be 6 or 7 minutes of added on time you fancy at the end of the 90. But that is really well worked. Need to keep their foot to the floor. Locao. Kawano with the assist, incidentally. Werik Popo. Shove from Marco Tullio, surely not given. Thump forward. Papagayo's on the move. Just need to keep their heads. Game management's got to be right, given how many minutes we've got left. Werik Popo given away by Locao. That was a little sloppy. This is Marco Tullio. Papagayo. Fukuda. Way by Kudo. Marco Tullio allowed to come forward here. The Brazilian does get the cross in. Locao makes life difficult for Enrique. Werik Popo runs into trouble. João Pedro is there. Enrique again. Flick forward by Fukuda. Marco Tullio trying to get to this, but Mosa to collect. João Pedro. Ball-hearted, and there's a little bit of afters there. And I think here that João Pedro might be carded because there was a little bit of a tangle between himself and Miyamoto. He seemed to bash his head there on the cooler. Awkward and a bit unnecessary. Back up on his feet. Changes a foot here. Going to see Barreto, another Brazilian. João Pedro is off. Marco Tulio is off as well. And Hiraoka is on. So late changes. João Pedro, I thought, had a really good first half, but it's faded a little bit. And it's Hiraoka, just 23, signed from Shonan Bellmare. Start of this season. 2 minutes to affect the game in positive fashion. Barreto's got a bit more experience, but yet to score since coming from Avaí in the summer of last year. Another Brazilian, started at Botafogo. Long throw from Fukuda. Launched inside the area, Enrique looks to flick on. It bounces all the way through towards the far side. Fed back in, not once. Oh, and the referee had a look at that and decides to wave play on. It will be double checked by Hayato Shimizu. The penalty out of that. Look out. Looks to go again, and still going, look out. Can he pull it back? It's towards Warwick Popo. Look out. Caution here. Doesn't quite get to the ball, more of a shove than anything significant, but a yellow nonetheless for Teo Hiraoka. .90 is up. What we're going to get for added on time here might be a good 6 or 7. .7 minutes of added on time. Here's the goal again. And it could be a massive one for Fagiano Okayama. Certainly a big one for Matsumoto, second of the season. Just need to see this one out, and this lot believe that they can. The biggest of stadiums in Japan, the attendance 14,089, the capacity 15,500. Their average this season just over 14, so they pack it out even though it's not the biggest. Barreto. Hiraoka does well initially. Side-footed forward, Shirai. Warwick Popo to use his strength and speed here. Still going. And difficult to stop in this sort of mood. And then eventually the referee intervenes. Well, there didn't seem too much wrong with the second burst forward. If there was nothing wrong with the first, they were fairly similar. Suzuki. Sugai. Warwick Popo, look out. Belted forward, Lukau's going to chase it, but it should be comfortable for Ota to get there first. He's calling two minds what to do. That'll give Faji a bit of an opportunity to reset further back. Barreto. Flick from Papagayo, cleared away by Tatsuta. And that's going to be a Faji free kick. Barreto's come on, he's playing further back, he is a midfielder. 4 minutes to ride this one out for a first win of the season. And it'll be a first clean sheet after 11 without for Fagiano Okayama, and it could be a real springboard for this man, Takashi Kiyama. He knows it. Get the first in the book and move on from there. Warwick Popo wins the header, look out. Two away fixtures to come after this against Shimizu S-Pulse and Cerezo Osaka. The latter of those two, a tougher assignment. And then two home fixtures, Vivara Nagasaki, Vissel Kobe, March into April. Still got a break for international fixtures. Sugai. Barreto. Given away, gets the second chance. Enrique. Nato to curl in. Papagayo was underneath it, but Popo again is the out ball here. Doesn't win the free kick. Furious with the referee, given the fact that something like that went against him just a few moments ago. Back to defensive duty for him, though. Sugai in field, pressure from Kyoto Sanga for pretty much the first time in this second half. Honda wins the throw, takes it quickly, wants it back. It's ignored for now, he's in a good position just a few moments ago. Sugai to curl towards Honda, cleared away. Picked up again by Hiraoka. He's been busy on the ball, still Hiraoka looks to curl in, glancing header. Well, Honda found himself in a good position inside the penalty area. Also makes it look easy. Maybe should have done a little better with this one, Fuchi Honda. 90 seconds remaining. Might get a little bit more added onto the 7. Fagiano Okayama close for a first win of the season. Kyoto Sanga have been a little disappointing. There's look out, he's had chances to score himself, looks to waste a bit of time. That's going to be a throw Kyoto Sanga's way. Enrique. Time running out, Barreto. Goal to force the shootout. Is it on? Fukuda. Sugai. Papagayo waits. Fukuda still has it. Suzuki. Arms flailing left and right. Fukuda to dig out the cross towards Papagayo. Cleared to the edge of the area. Free kick. Honda won't get the chance to take it on from inside the box, and Fagiano Okayama surely from here on in can just manage this fixture out. There's the shove, good spot from the referee, Koji Takasaki. Lennart Moser, the German keeper, takes his time then here as Fagiano Okayama close in on a big 3 points. Hiraoka, clip forward for look out, should get there first, and looks to nod it into the corner and just take the sting out of the game. We're beyond the 7 minutes of added on time, and look how he's strong enough to hold off 2 at the moment. Just look at this, and eventually plays it back. Miyamoto throwing Faji's way. You can see the subs and those players that have come off pointing to their wrists saying, come on, time is up, surely. We've had 30 seconds over the 7. It is a minimum, as we all know. Shirai. Towards Warwick Popo, looking to hold off two. High up into the air from Ogura. Here's Ogura again, Shirai. Keeping the ball down at the right end. Papagaio is a little bit frustrated, needs to be restrained from the young midfielder and sub Ogura. As we stretch into a 9th minute of added on time. The referee wants a word with the two that was squaring up a few moments ago. Papagaio not happy with the young sub. Ogura being spoken with by the matchday official. And eventually we'll restart. Or will we? No time for the throw. Fagiano Okayama and Takashi Kiyama celebrate. Big win, first of the season. Matsumoto from close range after a brilliant assist from Kawano and great work from Shirai. Papagaio doesn't score for a 4th straight game as Kyoto Sanga are beaten for the first time in 2026. Hard fought. Defence is on top for the most part. The pitch not necessarily conducive to goals today. Hard surface. Didn't really give the opportunity for both of these teams to really show us what they can do. Papagaio frustrated, as were all of the Kyoto Sanga players. They didn't really have too many opportunities, and the second half really belonged to Fagiano Okayama, who were by far and away the better side and deservedly get their first win of the season. Full-time, Fagiano Okayama 1, Kyoto Sanga 0. Not easy, had to dig deep and battle for victory. Takashi Kiyama's side. Chokui J's team were the form club of the two coming into this and had the better chances in the first half, but the second period was a real change. Takeshi Kiyama made alterations and they created many more chances than the team that finished 3rd in the J1 League last season. They were pretty disappointing, truth be told. When you look at some of the numbers in the end, Faji 1.91 XG to 0.61 of their opponents today, and 15 shots to Kyoto Sanga's 11, 5 and 4 respectively on target. All the attacking metrics point to a Fagiano Okayama success, and that's what we got eventually, courtesy of that man second of the season, Masaya Matsumoto, back in the starting lineup. Right place, right time to crash home from close range. Lukao had opportunities as well. He maybe should have scored at least one from close in after good work. He made a difference coming on in the second half, far more effective than Ichimi, who started the game. And for the Kyoto Sanga travelling supporters, disappointment, yes, but appreciative of their side's effort over the course of the 90 here. Not easy on a pitch that didn't really offer up too much for the way that Kyoto Sanga play. But Chokui J knows that it's not going to be easy to keep up the tempo and keep up the momentum from last season when they went close to winning a first ever J1 League title, finishing 3rd in the end. And having started this transitional season, the special season, so well, they were expected to win and indeed go top of Group West, as it was. The first reverse of 2026 for Sanga, and the first win for Fagiano Okayama. Tables turned on the form heading into this one. Papagaio didn't really have too many opportunities. Marco Tullio, that spectacular overhead from the edge of the penalty area. But it's the home support and will be the happier. They've come in their numbers once again. Those in the stands have been excellent, plenty of noise to get behind their team. And they've been rewarded by seeing Fagiano Okayama secure a narrow but deserved 1-0 success. Let's get some post-match reaction.
ファジアノ岡山松本雅也選手です。今シーズン初の勝ち点3を手にしました。まずは今のお気持ちを教えてください。
そうですね、なかなか勝てない試合が続いてたので、ホームでなんとか勝ち点3取れて非常に嬉しいです。
決勝点は川野選手の落とし